I tell him cut the small talk, you know I ain't the one to cock block. Brainwash a nigga, turn his Bentley to a hot box. Milk a nigga, you know turn his ball to some tot-tots. Jumping over loops, you niggas still playing hopscotch. Pin boss, I pin patter than ass shots. I let the flow cost you, pen sicker than Hancock. What a nigga up, but if you're just talking a hand job, that's 2K, but I tell a lick of hands off. Hotter than the cross, tougher than the Bronx, tighter than you cunts. Wise than your broad, shall I pop it off? He could see up to my hot spot, go for it. I'm hoping when you come I can at least meet you in the ballpark. Man, I'm flossing, I'm awesome, I'm popping. Nigga, I ain't nothing like your last bitch, stop it. Talk game slick, cause the sex game solid. I give a good head, long neck, no ostrich. Cut the small talk, you know.
How's everybody doing? How we doing tonight? Or today, whatever. Thank you guys. Thank you each and every one of y'all that have been an intricate part of what we're doing. Lionheart Live Talk has been, successful thus far. Oh, dang. All right. We are on.
Sorry.
You're like, no, it's cool. You are like the fastest guest. It's awesome. Usually I'm like trying to think of things to say while I'm waiting for people, but this is great. So thank you for joining us, Llysha. You are an incredible artist. You're also, I consider you a good friend of mine. I have so much respect for you. And why don't you tell everybody that's tuning in, we got about 6 people joining us so far. So that's awesome. Why don't you let them know who you are, what you're all about, and yeah.
All right. So my name is Llysha, aka Llysha Janelle. I also go by LJ. Just to shorten it and make it simple for people. But I am a hip hop artist from Atlanta. I started rapping when I was about 12 years old. I actually started with poetry. And then I started transitioning towards battle rap. So basically what got me into battle rap was, everybody in middle school, for the most part, deals with bullying at some point or another. I would never have to deal with the bullying from girls or comments from girls. It was mainly always just guys. I noticed how every guy that was, kind of picking on me here and there, did battle raps at lunch and, whatnot. So I don't know, I would overhear it and I would think, I feel like I could do a lot better than that. Like, their rhymes suck, So I started writing rhymes myself, and things just started coming to me since then. And then I started getting into the battle raps with the same guys, started winning. I ended up going to a performing arts high school in Atlanta, and Outkast actually went there. Oh my God, hey, please.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know, right? So I basically started continuing battle rap there. I ended up dropping out at 17 just for like family issues and started living on my own, having to work. And that like really pushed me to start pursuing music more seriously. So I started doing songwriting actually like a couple years ago on like Fiverr, Upwork, and started doing freelance songwriting for other people. I've been slacking on it lately, just, my new job and everything. But yeah, that's basically how I got my whole start.
That's what's up, man. Real quick, congrats on the new job. I saw you post about that, and that's awesome. I know you're doing big things, and I want to bring it back because I'm actually interested. I had no idea that you were from Atlanta, so that's real cool. ATL.
Yep.
And the other thing that surprised me is you said that you kind of got your start in battle rap. So how do you, a lot of people I talk to about both sides of the fence. Some people that say, battle rappers can't write songs. There's people that say that when they write songs, they can't battle rap. But you obviously can live in both worlds, which not only means that you're hella talented, but also I'd like to pick your brain as to like, why do you think people think that as far as battle rappers not being able to create songs, or has that been a challenge for you? Did you have to transition over to that?
I feel like battle rapping honestly was more of a challenge than songwriting. I see why they say that, because battle rapping, you're typically just going off of like emotion and just freestyling. So, when you have to sit down and actually think about what you're writing, it can't always be freestyle worthy. Like in a freestyle, you might say something stupid or whatever, but it's going to sound fine because it's coming straight off the dome. But songwriting, you have to put a little bit more thought into it. Not everybody's able to do that, even metaphorically or anything. So I feel like that's why some people say that. For me, like I said, I started off doing poetry, so songwriting was always simple for me. It was the battle rapping that like was a little bit of a challenge. But what I did was, like I said, I was getting picked on, so I used to use that anger to just feel the anger, sit in it. Like I would literally replay in my head everything they would say about me, like all the disses and everything, and just let it sit there, like get myself really mad, and then I would go ahead and start. So
that's what's up. So you originally are from Atlanta, Georgia. When did you come to the Chicagoland area, and specifically, I mean, you got to give me like your address, but like specifically, what part of the Chicagoland area are you from, and are you comfortable even saying that you're a Chicago artist, or what do you consider yourself?
I wouldn't really say I'm a Chicago artist. I hear a lot of Chicago artists, and it definitely is a unique sound. And I'm trying to adapt to that. But yeah, I wouldn't really consider myself a Chicago artist. I've been in Chicago for about a year now. I live in Mount Prospect, so I'm about like 25, 30 minutes from downtown Chicago. But yeah, no, I very much still consider myself an Atlanta artist. And when I tell people that, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense because yeah, your sound. So yeah, I wouldn't really consider myself, but I still rep Chicago. I feel like ever since I left Atlanta at 17, Chicago has been the one place that showed me the most love, most support. I'm, working with dope artists like yourself. So I definitely rep Chicago.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I was going to bring that up for those of us that are tuning in that don't know. We have an awesome collab. It's called No Cap. Featuring her, Llysha Janelle, J. King, produced by my boy Colossal Mind. If you tuned in last week, and it's an incredible honestly one of my favorite songs I've ever put together. And you and Jay, you guys snap.
Yeah,
I want to take a second to say thank you to everyone that's been joining the live so far. I saw Jungle AE join. They said small world. I guess they didn't know that we knew each other, so that's pretty cool. Also, everybody else has been leaving comments. Appreciate y'all. And is that where you have recorded in the past, or how do you know of Jungle AE?
So I started, so before I came to Chicago, I was looking into Chicago hashtags and just reaching out to as many artists, as many studios before I actually moved to Chicago. So I actually never recorded with them, but we have shown each other love on Instagram.
Okay.
I know you've worked with them. I know a couple artists, a couple other artists that have also worked with them. So it was mainly just showing love on the gram. I am going to record with them. It's just I've been taking a small little break, but yeah, that's it. Just mainly Instagram love.
I know how that goes. Sometimes it's like these days, especially being an artist and you like living real life, because some people think that we just rap, but we're regular people. We have bills. We got to go to work. We have families. Sometimes it's hard, but it's great that you've done your part in reaching out and networking with studios, artists. That's what's up. And so another thing I wanted to ask you, and I've been wanting to ask you this actually, is like, I want to word it properly. So when because I see that you recently started posting videos, but I don't see, it looks like you've been rapping for a long time, but there was obviously maybe like a transition point where you're like, I'm going to go for this, because I can see like you on your YouTube, you got some performances in school, which is dope. But it's like within the last like 2 or 3 years, I'd say, is when you've really been attacking this thing. What was the turning point, or what kind of triggered you to be like, yo, you know what? I'm going in, I'm going to post these TikToks and I'm going to post these Instagram videos. Is there one moment, or is it a accumulation of things that push you towards that?
It was definitely a moment. So I'm glad you noticed that. I feel like maybe other people noticed that too. But yeah, so I used to do performances and everything in school. Like I said, at 17, I ended up having to drop out for, different issues. So I feel like being on my own at 17 kind of stopped me from a lot. For like the first 3 years of being on my own, I kind of had to figure out who I was, figure out society. My parents weren't the best, so I was always in and out of the DFAC system. I ended up being in the detention center for a while, so I never really knew how life worked. So the first 3 years of me being on my own, it was literally just kind of figuring out how life worked, going from job to job, just figuring myself out. And then I feel like once I moved to Chicago last year, I'm like, okay, I know how society works. I know how people work. I know if I'm really going to accomplish this, like, it's not going to be out of pure luck. Like, I felt like I always kind of had that mindset of maybe I'll just get lucky, or my talent will take me there, without too much hard work. Yeah, once I moved to Chicago, I kind of saw how everybody else was working, and just like the work ethic they put into it and the self-discipline. So I made a plan that when I did go to Chicago, I was going to reach out to as many people. I was going to really, really put myself out there, because if I don't do it now, it's going to be never. And I mean, I'm 22, so by the time I'm 25, I'm hoping to not ever have to work a 9 to 5 and just, do songwriting for other people, be my own independent artist. I also want to have a career in, the automotive industry. So I'm hoping to be able to do both, like, successfully and, just as equally.
Man, that's what's up. And, I think it's really interesting, because my wife, and you met her before, Miss America, shout out to her. She's tuning in. She's really into cars. Like, she actually went to Lincoln Tech University for a little bit, and more on like the mechanic side of cars, but it's kind of an interesting thing, that you don't see too many women jumping into that, but it's great, because there should be more women in different industries like that to show everybody, men and women we're equal-minded, man, and sometimes the women could even have an even stronger mind, in my opinion, sometimes. So
that's what I'm trying to prove in my job. Yeah, I'm literally the only female selling cars in my job, and I work at Acura dealership, so we sell like Mercedes-Benz, BMWs, and like I said, I'm the only female, and I feel like that makes me even more competitive. I need to be really ahead of the game.
You killing it, man, and I'm telling you, like I'm looking in your eyes. I don't know if it's a camera here, but I want you to know that I think you're one of the dopest lyricists at your age. You're 22 years old. Your word choice, your flows, you're only growing and becoming better. And that's like when I first seen you perform. I want to say it was in Waukegan at one of the day show events. Shout out to Determined Radio, Orchestration Radio, Felice, if she's watching. She's been a great friend of mine and has connected me with so many people. But seeing you perform, seeing your confidence on stage, seeing your everything I just think is immaculate. And I'm still learning. Like I'm 20, I'm gonna be 28 this year. I'm 27, and I'm still learning to have that confidence on stage. And so I think you're a great inspiration.
Definitely got it.
How long have you been performing? Because like one thing is making music and writing. Another thing is live performances. Is that something you practice throughout your life, or is it just you just let it out on stage and that's you jump into your character? Like how does that come about?
So I started in high school. Even a lot of the events that you see on YouTube, most of my performances weren't actually uploaded to YouTube. But like I said, I did battle rapping, so I used to do that in front of like a crowd of people, and I felt like that was the grounding moment of like my confidence that you see on stage. Was because you're basically dissing somebody, you have to have that level of confidence. You have to look them straight in their eye and like really talk your shit. So I felt like that really helped me out. And then, like I said, I took a few-year break from it. And then when I got back to Chicago, it's like everything kind of just came back to me. I was kind of like that first event that I did. I think I'm not sure if we met each other at that event, but it was we did. It was in Waukegan, not the second one, but the first one. That was my first one in Chicago last year.
Oh, for real? That was your first?
Yes,
okay,
that was the very first. That was like about a couple weeks after I just moved down here. But yeah, I performed there, and I was really nervous beforehand. But when the beat started playing and I started doing it, like all that came back to me. So I feel like just battle rapping and having to have that confidence in order to.
What's crazy is I seen you perform. I don't know where. I probably went to get some food because I'm always looking for food. And my wife was the one that she came. She's like, "Yo, remember that girl workshop?" I'm like, "Yeah." I just got all her info. I got her Instagram, got her Facebook. You need to add her right now. She's on top of all that. I'm terrible. I lose track. But definitely, like, then I started looking up your stuff. I'm like, damn, like, there's a lot of people in this music game. You've seen it. They come and go. But it's like when we see someone that catches our attention, it's like, okay, they got something. So I think you have an incredible future ahead of you. I think you're talented in multiple facets, so it's just great to see you grow, and I'm honored to have you, and I can't wait to do more music with you. So is there any new music that you're working on right now, or is there a project you're working on, or what's going on with you?
Yes, actually I have 2 singles I'm releasing, and one's a remix of an Afro punk song. So I'm trying to like get more into cultural music, just a little bit, trying to dip my foot in there, not too much, but there's a remix of Burna Boy. Have you heard of him?
Is he from Chicago?
No, he's actually a Nigerian artist.
Oh, okay. No,
he's not too popular, so not a lot of people know him. But he has a song called Gun Body, and I took the instrumental and completely redid it. So I have that coming out really, really soon. And then I have another song coming out called Tonight, and it's kind of just like a R&B and hip hop mix. So it's gonna be something different, something that people haven't heard from me before, like a different type of sound. So I have those 2 coming, and hopefully I get a video out to at least one of them. That's what I'm working on. But with my new job, I'm able to financially support everything I want to do as far as media and creativity and the visuals I want to put out there. So really working hard. But yeah, I definitely have a lot of things coming. And I'm not doing too many events right now, but next month, once I have like my job, in lock, and I have, a good path going on it, I'm going to start doing events and actually start hosting my own events at the end of the year. The plan was to go back to Colorado, but with my job and just with talking to other people, I figured out that I actually do want to stay in Chicago. So I'm going to be here for the rest of the year and the rest of next year. So I'm going to start actually hosting my own events and just being way more involved than I am currently. But yeah, next month that's all that's going to start.
We're keeping you in Chicago. That's what's up. We need
yes.
Man, seeing your progression and how quickly you've progressed, it's inspiring. And even someone like me, so I can only imagine the people, you know, that follow you in your life. You have an aura to you. You have a bright, you know, light to yourself. So never dim that, never change that, and never slow up for anyone, because the world is yours, you know. I got a lot of people that are my boy Junebug from Oli in New York. I appreciate the love, man. Colossal Mind tuning into, giving us some positive comments. In a few moments here, whoever's watching, whoever's still on the live, if you have any questions that you want to ask Llysha, you know, make sure you type them in. I'll read it off to her. If she sees it, she can answer from there. One thing that I did want to ask you too, that I just remember right now, that one song that I really enjoy, man. One of my favorite songs is the Halloween one that you did, Michael Myers. I really like the flow, just the whole vibe. The video looks like you had a good time. I can't remember who your friend was on the song, but she did a good job too. What was her name? Hold on. Thank you. Hold on one second. Can you hear me? My bad. I think we lost connection.
No, you're good. Do you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. What was
her name's Sensei?
Sensei? Okay, cool. I knew it was something like that. I wanted to say Sensei, but I wanted, you know what I mean? I didn't want to get it wrong. But yeah, that's an incredible song. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun. And it looks like even through your music, I can kind of see your growth lyrically. And as you said, you're also a songwriter yourself on Fiverr. So that's pretty dope. Hold on one second. Make sure we're still connected out here. Hold on. We'll get her back on the live in one moment. Yeah, let's go live here. I think we lost her for a second. In the meantime, there we go. We back.
There we go.
It's all good. It's all good. About that song. So yeah, what would you say? And I brought all that to bring up. What would you say your favorite song has been up at this point? Is it something that is an older track, or this last year that you created, or just, you know, what would you say?
Honestly, and I'm not saying this just because I'm on a live with you, honestly, my verse in No Cap is probably my favorite to date, because that's like the one verse that I've had that I wrote the quickest. Like I literally wrote that verse in 5 minutes. I heard it, I was feeling the hook, I repeated it. I had it on like repeat 10 times, and then I was like, you know what? I don't even need to take time. I can do it right now. So like I said, I'm not even gassing you up. Like that's literally my favorite verse to date.
I appreciate you putting your hardest work into it. I could hear it. You know, I was like, man, she would. Yes, she would.
I love that song so much. And then my own personal song, I would probably say is Cock Block, my very first single that I released on Spotify and Apple.
I like that one. Turn his Bentley to a hot box.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You're dope. You got great music. I think you have an incredible personality. You're real. You know, you're not one of these cartoon character rappers that, like, you know what I mean? Like we meet them in real life and they're nothing. Like I can totally see you put yourself in your music. And, you know, obviously, you know, everyone has that alter ego when they're behind the mic. So, you know, there's a little bit of that, but that's what's up, man. I appreciate you, man. I hope you know from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your work on that song. I knew it when I first heard the song. I was like, yo, we need to get this girl on this track, because it's an incredible video. If you guys haven't seen it, I'll put the link.
I'm honored that you thought of me to put on that track. I heard it, I was like, what?
Hey, that's
the best feature I've done.
One question that I saw on here, shout out to Miss America again, First Lady of Hip Hop. Got to put the plugs in there. She goes, what do you like best, battle rap or just rapping on a song? And I think you answered that a little bit earlier, but maybe you can expound on that a little more. Like, what do you prefer as far as like your personal favorite? Like, if someone told you right now, we'll give you $1 million, either battle this dude or write me a hit record, what would you say you'd be more comfortable doing?
I'd rather write you a hit record, because with battle rap, I feel like it's just too much emotion. Like in order to successfully do it, I feel like I have to feel too much anger. Unfortunately, it's still a very good practice. You know, it's a good art. But yeah, I would have to get in a certain state. I stopped doing battle rap because of that. Like I did love it. I loved what I did. I loved, you know, every win, every loss. But it's not always interpreted correctly when you battle somebody. So for that reason, I much rather prefer to write you a hit record, make you feel some type of way, influence your emotions, and something you could put on repeat and replay and always have that same, you know, good emotion. So I'd rather do that.
Yo, that's what's up, and I totally understand what you're saying. I don't like to hurt people's feelings, so it's hard for me to write some good battle bars. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I get what you mean. It's like it's a whole different mindset that you got to put yourself in. And in my past, because I have battled a few times. Like it's not like I wouldn't call myself a battle rapper, but it's been where I'm like high school cafeteria, lunch table type thing. We got milk cartons and hot Cheetos, and everyone's tripping out.
Right.
And I know what you mean. It's like you almost got to focus all your energy into that one person, and sometimes you gotta step out of the box of who you even are just to kind of get the, because in reality you're fighting to gain the crowd. You know what I mean, or the people that are watching. So sometimes you gotta say something that you might not normally say, but it's gonna be that bar. It's gonna make everyone go woo. And like you said, when you're writing a song, it's like you could really put yourself into the song, relate to somebody, touch somebody. So pause. They better not stuff the sound bites on me, but you know what I mean. So definitely, man, I feel you as far as an artist. So thank you very much. We appreciate you taking the time to be on this platform. It's something that I want to continually do. It's called Lionheart Live Talk because I personally believe that if you're an artist, entrepreneur, musician, comedian, whatever it is that you do, you got to put your heart in it. And we all got the heart of a lion if we're out here doing our thing. So real quick before we sign off, is there anything else you'd like to say to everybody watching? And would you like to let people know where they can find your music or where they can find you online?
Yeah, absolutely. So Llysha Janelle is the name. That's Llysha, and then Janelle. You can find me on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, whatever. Also, I have been reading the comments. Thank you for one. I love your wife. Like, I love her. She's very inspiring. So thank you so much. Let's see. Spenny. One of my friends, Jeremy, on here is, saying whack or whatever. I freaking see him. And then everybody else. Thank you guys so much for the support.
Well, thank you very much again for being on here. I look forward to doing this again in the future. I look forward to making more music. I wish you nothing but luck, and I think that'll do it for tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you too. Can't wait to work again.
Right.